Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of 100 Yards Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host and producer, Logan Landers. Joining me here today to talk about what a lot of people consider the GOAT of football in the NFL, Tom Brady, quarterback, long time for the New England Patriots, and of course, a couple of years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Helping me talk about his very much historic career, my guy from the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network, Mr. Jay McLovin. Jay, say what's up to the people and give your thoughts on Tom Brady. I know there's a lot of them.
Oh, wow. Yeah, TB12, man. First, it's good to be here. Brady, there's so many good things to say about him, but I never understood this to me. With the deflate gates and all the things that organization went through. That he didn't come. That he basically came away unscathed,
Scot-free.
Yeah, like it never really. Jose Altuve is probably over there thinking, like, what the hell, man? I'm just saying, look, he's had his controversies. Tom has.
Of course.
But obviously we know he didn't have a great combine. And, of course, we know he's taken at the end of the draft. I mean, these are things all that people know. But Tom Brady, what people don't know is he's a great guy. He's very nice. Charles Barkley. This is Charles Barkley, okay? Everybody knows Charles Barkley is not the nicest guy in the world. But Charles even said that, Wayne Gretzky and Tom Brady were the nicest goats that he's ever met. And obviously, Tom, showed his niceness, I guess, gave Charles Barkley a double-digit thousand watch. God only knows, how much that watch really cost. But, just gave it to him like no big deal, like it's whatever, and – but again, you look at all of the touchdowns, or you look at all the short dink and dunk passes, which is what he was crafted for. I don't know that he was ever truly, great at the long ball. He didn't really throw a whole lot of them. Most of them were, just a short intermediate passes. But again, when you got a good game plan and you got a guy who has a very high IQ for football and a hard competitive drive, I would say he's the white mamba.
I don't think that's too crazy of a statement, Jay.
I think he's the white mamba. Seriously. I mean, you know what Kobe was.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at TB12, he was the same damn way. He didn't like losing. He wanted to do everything he could to possibly win. In and out, put the work in, did everything he was supposed to do, put the game film watch in, whatever. He has that killer instinct in him.
Mm-hmm.
That not everybody has.
And yeah, look, Tom Brady is a guy who came into the league out of Michigan, like you mentioned, late round quarterback. Not a lot of hope around him. Thinking, this guy's going to be, one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen. No one thought that coming with Tom Brady, who we've seen the infamous combine photo where he just looks kind of upset to be there, just pasty white guy with no chiseled jawline or nothing. Just fresh out of college. And by God, he set the football world on fire, Jay. Took him a little bit of time to get there. Not a whole lot, but once he arrived, my God, did he ever arrive. Absolutely crushed the dreams of every team in the AFC East for 20 seasons. I remember when he left, Jay. Every fans, from the Dolphins to the Jets to the Bills, I think they were in unison that day, just high-fiving, hugging each other, cheering, saying, oh my God, he's out, he's gone, he's leaving us. And then he came down to the NFC South, and he beat up on the Falcons for a little bit, but it's all right. When you look at Tom Brady, Jay, like you said, the accolades are all there. Most Super Bowl rings ever. He's got 7, for God's sake. 5 MVPs. And like we mentioned, Jay, with the other week with our Eli Manning video, he could have had 2 more if Eli didn't stop him.
Yeah.
Like I said, he got 6 Super Bowls, as we know, in New England. He left, went to Tampa. A lot of people said, oh, what the heck's he doing going to Tampa? He might be washed. He might be out of this. Got a ring with them their first year. That shut that all down. Said, oh, maybe it was just Belichick. Shut all that down. And he just, if you look at his stats, if you look at what all he's done, I mean, it'll take you a year to read everything that he's done in terms of his whatnot, right? We know he helped lead the Patriots to that undefeated regular season. Got to put that out there in 2007. He threw the ball for thousands upon thousands of yards, close to just over 89K. Got so many records. Like I said, most wins as a quarterback, career completions, passing touchdowns, passing yards, also playoff wins as a quarterback, playoff yards, playoff touchdowns. What more do we need to say other than this guy, as you mentioned, put in the work, Jay?
Right.
I mean, from the time he was drafted in 2000 until he officially hung up the cleats in 2022. And think about that, Jay. He played 22 seasons as a quarterback in the National Football League, as a starter for the vast majority of them. And he was, for the most part, always the best player on the field. And it seems like once he hit a peak or his prime, once he became a starter, he never really dipped off much in terms of his efficiency. At the very last year, he didn't have like I said, he had a good year, but in terms of Tom Brady years, maybe wasn't the best. But every year, man, for 20 some odd years, this guy was gonna do his best. Wasn't for that, that leg injury he had in the mid 2000s. He's banged up a little bit, but he played forever. Played until he was in his 40s, and he played. We've never really seen a quarterback play that well,
right,
late into his 40s. We'd seen them play pretty late, but not dominate the way that Tom did.
Yeah,
and like I said, you can look at his stats, his MVPs, all of this, but it would take us, 5 30-minute shows. It'd take us a 24-hour live stream, Jay, to talk about how good Tom Brady was. But I think everything speaks for itself. He's got the photo of him with all of his fingers covered in all the rings he's won.
Yeah.
Championships, MVPs. I mean, it's a guy who, if you think of football, you think of great quarterbacks, Tom Brady's got to be, if he's not your number one, he's got to be up there.
Yeah.
With just how well he played. Not just in the regular season, in the playoffs. Got it done on led the Patriots to their dynasties. And then also proved everyone wrong and got a championship with Tampa Bay as well.
Right.
So there's not much more we can say about this guy other than just wow. You hated him.
You gotta give, but you know what? You got to give a lot of props to his nutritionist and his physical trainer, because they kept that man's body on point.
Yeah, I'm about to say this man probably hasn't had carbs since 2008. Just because of how long he played. But like I said, everything just worked out well for this guy, man. Something was in the cards. Something was in the cards for Tom. And for many years, a lot of people hated this guy. Oh. But now, Jay, we can, now that he's gone and he's not going to torment our teams anymore, we can kind of sit back and we can reflect and say, man, that guy was a hell of a football player. There's no other way around it. He said, man, he didn't just beat up on our teams. He beat up on every team.
Yeah. I agree with that totally.
So, Tom Brady, it was I don't know if I'd say pleasure, because, God, I hated when he beat the Falcons in that year, but oh well. But now that I can sit back and all the years of angst and hatred and whatnot have been removed, it was an honor watching this guy on the field, man. I mean, just how he's able to command. That's the thing, too. He could command the field. He was a field general in every sense of the word. If this guy had the ball in his hands, something good was going to happen 9 times out of 10. So Tom Brady, man, heck of a career, obviously. And a lot of people's eyes, the GOAT, not just in quarterbacks, but maybe just in all of football. And there's not much to argue with. Just look at his stats. Look at the rings. That's all I got to say. Jay McLovin, I've been your host and producer, Logan Landers. Guys, we'll talk to you again on another live